Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody. Today I'm gonna talk about a phenomenon related to linguistics. More specifically about contrastive linguistics. And actually I'm gonna talk about this phenomenon in English language and in Arabic language. This phenomenon is ellipsis. Ellipsis. And if we come to define ellipsis, in linguistics, ellipsis is the omission of a word or phrase necessary for a complete syntactical construction but not necessary for understanding meaning. Yes, it's necessary for a complete syntactical construction but not necessary for understanding meaning. And this word was explained by Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary that the origin of the word ellipsis refers to the mid of the 16th century via Latin from Greek. Ellipsis, which means leave out, one of the scholars who defined ellipsis is Crystal, 1985. He states that this term, ellipsis, is used in grammatical analysis to refer to a sentence where, for reasons of economy, emphasis, or style, a part of the structure has been omitted, which is recoverable from a scrutiny of the context. This is by Crystal. That means what? That means ellipsis is the omit from a sentence or a construction one or more words understandable from the context that would complete or clarify the construction. Okay? In Arabic language, ellipsis is one of the firm and stable features in Arabic that tends to be concise and brief. Actually, it's preferred in Arabic literature since it shortens discourse and makes it easily learned by heart and recited. One scholar who defined ellipsis in Arabic language is Zarkashi. Zarkashi said what? Said ellipsis is dropping a part of the speech or all of it for a reason. He said, originally, with all different kinds of ellipses, there should be a reference for the deleted part. And if there is no evidence on ellipses, the process will not be ellipsis but brevity. One more scholar is Sibawayh. Sibawayh mentions it's widespread and frequently used in the speech of Arabs seeking brevity and concision. Okay, now let's move to ellipsis types in English. The first one is gapping. Okay, when I say I ordered coffee and he ordered tea. If I delete the second ordered, the sentence will be okay, no problem. So I can say I ordered coffee, and he tea, and he tea. That means he ordered tea. He ordered tea. Another type is stripping. Stripping is like when I say I ordered coffee, I did not order tea. So I can say what? I can delete what? I can delete I did order. So I can say I ordered coffee, not tea. That should be okay, no problem. That should be okay, no problem. The third type, verb phrase ellipsis. Verb phrase ellipsis. Okay, this is, as the name suggests, phrase, verb phrase. Okay, here, as I say what? I will order coffee, and you can order coffee too. I'll order coffee, and you can order coffee too. Okay, so if I delete the second part, the second order coffee, the sentence will be okay, no problem. So I'll order coffee and you can too. You can too. That means you can order coffee too. Okay, this is verb phrase ellipsis. Number 4 is pseudo gapping. Pseudo gapping. Okay, pseudo gapping is introduced by an auxiliary verb. Okay, it differs from verb phrase ellipsis. However, insofar as the elided VP is not entirely gone, but rather one or more remnants of the verb phrase appear. Okay, as you can see here, the sentence, the example here, they have been eating the apples more than they have been eating the oranges. So if I would like to delete the second they have been eating, it will be okay, no problem. So they have been eating the apples more than the oranges. The sentence will be okay, no problem at all. Okay, this is what we call pseudo gabbing or pseudo gabbing. طيب, number 5, it is called answer ellipsis. Answer ellipsis. Answer ellipsis. As if here you have an answer. You have a question and answer. For example here, when does the circus start? When does the circus start? I can say tomorrow, or I can say the circus starts tomorrow. But if I'd like to delete the circus starts, no problem. When does the circus start? Tomorrow. Tomorrow. The answer will be directly tomorrow. Okay? Number 5, sluicing. In sluicing, we have indirect and direct. We have indirect ellipsis and direct. Like what here? When I say, John can play something, but I don't know what he can play. This is indirect here. I can say, I can delete after what he can play. I can delete this, he can play. So, John can play something, but I don't know what. This is indirect. And direct, something unusual happened. The answer B here, B, what happened? If I'd like to delete the second happened, no problem. So the sentence will be, something unusual happened. The answer of B will be, what? That means what happened. That means what happened. Another type is nominal ellipsis. Nominal ellipsis. As the example here, the first train and the second train have arrived. The first train and the second train have arrived. I can delete the second train here. Where I can say the first train and the second have arrived. Okay, it always happens in cardinal or ordinal numbers, and in example number 2, I heard Mary's dog and you heard Bill's dog. I can delete the second dog here. I can say what? I heard Mary's dog and you heard Bill's, and that will be okay, no problem. Will be enough. Okay. Another type is comparative ellipsis. Comparative ellipsis. It happens in comparative clauses, actually. The expression in the comparative clause is elided. That corresponds to the expression focused by a comparative morph such as more or er. Okay. Example here. William has friends in more countries than you have friends in countries. I can delete the second one, friends in countries. So I can say what? William has friends in more countries than you have. And that's enough. That's enough and will be okay, no problem. This is another kind of ellipsis. Another one, we have null complement anaphora. Anaphora. Okay, null complement anaphora. Type anaphora. This is when I say, do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? No, I don't know what happened. They told Bill to help, but he refused to help. So if I delete know what happened, the sentence would be okay. Do you know what happened? No, I don't. No, I don't hear. I mean, no, I don't know what happened. Or I can say they told Bill to help, but he refused to. Refused to do what? To help. So if you delete help, the second help, no problem. Okay, these are the types of ellipses in English, and now let's go to types of ellipses in Arabic language. The first type of ellipsis in Arabic language is called deduction. 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 Al-iqtita'. It can be by mentioning a letter and dropping out the rest of the word, as in verse number 6 of chapter Al-Ma'idah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَأَمْسَحُ بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ وَأَرْجُلُكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ. And according to Muhsin Khan, rub by passing wet hands over your heads and wash your feet up to ankles. The omitted word here is بأيديكم, with hands, but it is only mentioned the first letter B, by, and omitted the rest of the word اللي هي بأيديكم. بأيديكم. Okay? So we deleted the word بأيديكم and mentioned the letter ba, b, بأيديكم, by hand. Okay, this is what we call deduction. Deduction. The second type of ellipsis in Arabic language is sufficiency, al-iktifa. Actually, some sentences or clauses need mentioning two items because of the inherent link between them. We only use one expression, especially when there is a conjunction between them, as in verse number 81 of chapter An-Nahl. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَجَعَلَ لَكُمْ سَرَابِيلَ تَقِيكُمْ الْحَرِّ. According to Muhsin Khan translation, and has made for you places of refuge in the mountains, and has made for you garments to protect you from the heat and cold, between two brackets, and cold. Okay, this verse shows sufficiency by mentioning al-har, heat, and omitting al-bard, cold. It suffices to mention heat to indicate to cold. So we use heat only, and heat is enough to indicate to bard, al-bard, cold. Okay, this is what we call sufficiency. Sufficiency. And another type, the third way of Arabic ellipsis happens when the speaker uses a tacit clause or word, because ellipsis meaning can be deduced from the neighboring words or clauses. This type always comes in the exceptional analogy. Exceptional analogy. القياس الاستثنائي, as in verse number 159 of chapter آل عمران. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. According to Muhsin Khan, and had you been severe and harsh-hearted, they would have broken away from about you. As the prophet's companions did not break away from him, a clause implies that the prophet is not severe and harsh-hearted was omitted. Okay? The second part of the verse was not mentioned or deleted because it can be understood by from the context. And as the prophet's companions did not break away from him, a clause implies the prophet is not severe and harsh-hearted. And this was omitted actually. Type number 4 is to use one verb to indicate to two things, although its meaning suits one thing. The other verb is tacit as in verse number 29 of chapter Al-Hashr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوَّأُوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ. Yusuf Ali, but those who before them and had homes in Medina and had adopted the faith. The verb tabawwa'u was used for ad-dar wal-iman, home and faith, although it suits only ad-dar, home, as shown above in Ali's translation. The translator has used actually two verbs to indicate to the verb tabawwa'u, had and adopt, but he omitted one verb, tabawwa'u. Tabawwa'u suits what? Suits home. Okay? In the main verse in Arabic language, tabawwa'u ad-dar wal-iman. Tabawwa'u, it suits al-dar. It doesn't suit al-iman, faith. It suits ad-dar, home. Okay? So I deleted. He deleted one verb and used tabawwa for the two things, for the two items, for the home and for the faith. Number 5 happens when a speech needs two things, but one thing is mentioned because it's intended, as in verse number 49 of chapter Taha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قال فمن ربكما يا موسى قال فمن ربكما يا موسى. Said, who then, O Musa, is the Lord of you too? In the above verse, the word ربكما refers to Musa and Harun, but only Musa was mentioned. Harun was omitted because the intended one is Musa. The intended one is Musa. Type number 6 happens when two things are mentioned, but a pronoun refers to one of them. Is used, and this is in verse number 35 of chapter At-Tawbah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالَّذِينَ يَكْنُزُونَ الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ وَلَا يُنْفِقُونَهَا. Yusuf Ali. And there are those who bury gold and silver and do not spend it. Actually mentioned gold and silver and said what here? Do not spend it. Spend it. Do not spend it. The connected pronoun ha in the word ينفقونها, spend it, refers to gold and silver. However, the pronoun it was used instead of the pronoun them. And here there is omission actually. There is omission here. And also we have number 7, what we call opposite ellipses. It happens when the sentence has two opposite meanings, but their opposite in the other side are deleted, as in verse number 102 of chapter At-Tawbah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وآخرون اعترفوا بذنوبهم خلطوا عملا صالحا وآخر سيء. Bigthol said what, or translated as, and there are others who have acknowledged their faults. They mixed a righteous action with another that was bad. The above verse portrays the opposite ellipses. It should be assumed as they mixed a writer's action with another bad and a bad action with another writer's, because mixture has two sides actually. However, only one side was mentioned and the second side was deleted. Deleted. Number 8, I think, reduction. Reduction is the omission of a word or more to reduce the sentence words, as in verse number 51 of chapter Al-Baqarah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ثم اتخذتم العجل من بعده, according to Bechtel, and then you chose the calf when he had gone from you. The second object of the above verse was omitted for the sake of reduction. It is assumed as إله. اتخذتم العجل إله من بعده. ثم اتخذتم العجل إله من بعده. You chose calf as God when he had gone from you. Okay, these are the types of ellipses. Now we got the difference, or we know the difference between types of ellipses in Arabic language and types of ellipses in English language, and we got the definition of ellipses in Arabic and definition of ellipses in English. And I think that's all for this video, and see you in next videos inshallah.